Hi, this is Andrew Lin. First, I want to apologize. I made a promise to make some videos about foreign currencies, but these last few weeks I've been caught up with some work in my PhD research. But today I'm going to talk about how to look for and invest in foreign coins at coin shows and coin dealers. So you've probably seen them at the coin dealer or a coin show. Sometimes a dealer will have a big box of mixed foreign coins. Obviously, if you see anything silver in there, it's probably a good deal. The dealer either didn't see it, or maybe he doesn't know about it. So it's a good idea to review what countries made silver coins, when they were made, and how much silver they contain. I don't think, if you see a silver coin there, it's very rare that it's not worth at least whatever the dealer's selling them for. So always pick them up. The second thing, and this is the thing I want to talk about in this video, is foreign coins that are worth more in exchange than what you're paying. So if usually in the foreign coin box, the junk foreign coins are at most a quarter each, sometimes less. So if you see a €1 or €2 coin in there, such as these, you definitely want to get them. Even the 50-cent euro, these are more common. The €1 and €2, I don't think you're going to find a lot of euros, especially if this is a very popular dealer, because everybody knows euros have value. Everybody picks them out, and even the dealers probably know about euros. Dealers usually don't like to cash in on the foreign currencies because they're a pain. You got to send them to the country of origin. You got to have a lot before it's worthwhile. But most dealers understand euros, and they're pretty compact. You can have 1,000 euros in €2 coins, and it would still quite easily fit in a small container. So the best currencies you can find are probably the Swiss franc and the Japanese yen in terms of value, because Switzerland makes a 5 franc coin. This is right now worth almost $5 US. It's about the size of a $1/2, and if you find one of these in the junk coin box, it's almost always a jackpot. You're getting it for 25 cents or even less. Sometimes if you buy a lot from the box, you can negotiate a better price. I've done this before. I've even sometimes negotiate by the weight. Like if I get 2, 3, 4 pounds of these coins, usually you get a much better deal. I've paid $3 or $4 a pound at times, and if they were completely in 5 franc Swiss coins, you would win the lottery. So it helps to negotiate if you're buying a lot. Switzerland also made 2 franc and 1 franc coins, and then there's some fractionals, but generally they're bulky. Even if they're more than the exchange, if you can find better coins, I would recommend just skipping the bulky ones like the Swiss 5-cent or 10-cent coins. Another thing about Switzerland is they have relatively large gold reserves. So as you may know, the Swiss franc tends to follow the trend of gold in the long run. In fact, last year when gold corrected from 1,000 to 700, the gold price was relatively unaffected with the Swiss franc. The Swiss franc also fell alongside with it because they have one of the largest gold reserves in the world. The Japanese yen is another currency you might want to look for in these boxes. It's traditionally been considered a safe haven, although I want to disagree because they don't have large gold reserves like the Swiss, or even the Australian dollar or the New Zealand dollar is probably safer in terms of that. But the Japanese yen is also very compact for its value and size. In fact, if you had a 500 yen Japanese coin, it would be worth its weight in silver, even though it's not made of silver. I've never found a Japanese 500 yen, but I have found a lot of 100 yen coins, and right now these are worth over $1. They're about the size of a quarter, so they're very compact. You can easily have a few $100 US dollars in Japanese coins in your hand. Think about trying to carry 100 in US coins. That would be pretty. I don't think you could carry it with both hands without a container. So Japanese coins, a lot of foreign coins are actually very compact, as you will see in this video. I talked about Australian dollars. I've only found 2 coins. One of them is a 50-cent Australian. One of them is a $1 Australian. They're worth about 1 to 1 to the US dollar right now. and they've made it quite a climb in the last few years as a result of gold. So we talked about how the Swiss franc, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar tends to trend gold because they produce a lot of gold, but the Canadian dollar tends to trend oil because among the major currencies, Canada is one of the biggest producers of oil and other commodities, so it tends to follow commodities, which I think will do very well in the coming years due to inflation. There are 3 Canadian coins I look for at CoinShop. Well, they're smaller coins, but I don't think they're worth storing. They're very bulky, similar to the U.S. coins, but this is called a loonie. It's a 1 Canadian dollar. It's mostly made of brass. And then the toonie is a bimetallic coin. It's made of nickel on the outside and brass on the inside. And then the older Canadian nickel dollars, they're not made of silver. So some people call them silver dollars, but they're made of nickel. It's about the size of a U.S. silver dollar, and they're still legal tender. Those are the 3 Canadian coins I would look for in such a junk foreign coin box. And then there are a few odds and ends. A lot of people don't realize this, but the German marks, either coins or paper money, are still the German government has guaranteed they will indefinitely be exchangeable for the euro at a fixed ratio. It's about 2 German marks per euro. So obviously, if you see a 5 German mark coin, that's worth €250, which is almost $4 today. You should definitely snap that. There's a 2 German mark, 1 German mark, but I believe it has to be after World War II because Germany suffered hyperinflation in World War II, where they readjusted their currency by saying every X amount of marks becomes 1 new mark. I don't remember what it was. It was around several billion at least. So German coins after World War II, definitely get those because those are as good as the euro. British coins, the 50 pence piece. Actually, a few years ago they adjusted the size because they were heavy, but some stores will not accept these if you go to Great Britain, but if you have a bank account, most of them will take them as deposits. The Polish currency, the Zloty. This is if you buy Polish coins, just make sure they are 1990 or later, because Poland actually also suffered hyperinflation in the late 80s, early 90s, and I believe every 10,000 old Polish Zloty became 1 new Polish Zloty. The old ones are still exchangeable, but obviously if you have a 2,000 old Polish Zloty, you're only getting 20 cents Polish money from it. So generally that's not a good buy unless you can get them in bulk in a lot, and you're also looking to travel so you can exchange them. Otherwise they're very bulky, and I wouldn't recommend them as an investment. The Taiwanese new dollar, again, Taiwan also suffered hyperinflation. This was in the 40s after World War II, and every million old Taiwanese dollar became a new Taiwanese dollar, and we've been using it since World War II. This is a 50 new Taiwanese. It's worth about $1.50 US, and there are several variations of them. This is a bimetallic one that was made between 1996 and 2001, I believe. And then the old ones were very small. These were made in the early 90s. But historically, it hasn't been a very good store value. They tend to trend the U.S. dollar, so not a very good store value. Actually, the Polish Zloty, a lot of people don't realize Poland has actually very large reserves of copper. You can look it up on Wikipedia. They among the 4th or the 5th, and for their GDP, it's very high. They probably have the highest copper reserves per GDP. So those are the main currencies I look for, and if you call any reputable coin dealer, they're going to tell you they have tons of these coins, and they would be happy to get rid of them. So try to buy as many as you can at once so you can negotiate a better price, and get to know the dealers, because actually one dealer that I know, he has 4 tons of junk foreign coins, and he and I know each other very well. I'm very regular customers, so he actually agrees to put the ones I've already looked through in separate boxes. So I'm still working through them. I'm about a quarter of the way there, so I've looked through about a ton. So if you know a dealer well, you can certainly do that, and that would really help. And just buy as many as you can, because like I said, for the dealers, these are junk. They don't make a lot of money for the dealers. They tend to make their money on the rare coins. So if you buy bullion and foreign coins, they're very happy to get rid of them generally. Okay, good luck, and I hope you do well with these foreign currencies.